attention to the polls because we are running as the underdog. Okay? And we have some hard work ahead of us, but we like hard work.
Jessica Patterson, California GOP chairwoman, and Tim Hogan, former Hillary Clinton spokesman and former communications director for Senator Amy Klobuchar, join me now. Jessica, I want to start with you first. The poll numbers in Pennsylvania being in a dead heat, it does not look good for a Democratic candidate running for president when the presidential candidate is only literally months away, just a couple months away. That could change drastically in Trump's favor after the September 10th debate, considering the feedback she got after last night's interview. How serious is this debate, and how much is this going to sway voters, you think?
I think the debate is going to be critical. It's going to be crucial. When we have watched the last month of about 89% favorable coverage for Vice President Harris, and she can only pull to a tie, this is a big problem for Democrats. She has been largely unchallenged. She's been very scripted. She hasn't taken many questions from the media, had her first press interview really last night. And I think that over the next few weeks, when we see her come out to the debate stage, and really they've trying to kept her behind the scenes up until that point. I don't think it's a great strategy for the first time for her to be out there on the debate stage. I think you're going to see these numbers to continue to change over the next several weeks.
Tim, what a mistake do you think it was, or do you agree with their decision to wait 39 days after they announced that she's going to be running for the next president of the United States for her to get out there in the public and actually talk policy? Because up until last night, nobody really knew what policy she stood firm on. And I still don't think I think there's more questions and answers even after this taped interview, not even a live one.
Yeah. I mean, look, I think she did well in the interview. I think what you're seeing Republicans do at this interview now is they tried to set it up as a house of cards. It's all going to come crumbling down as soon as she gets pressed. She did well in the interview. Now we're doing the same thing with the debate. Donald Trump does the same thing, calls her dumb, low IQ. She's not going to be able to hold her own, even though she prosecuted every cabinet member that Donald Trump put in front of her in the Judiciary Committee. And I just think as a Republican strategy, it's not smart. To the point on the polling, yes, it is very close. We're within the margin of error everywhere. Pennsylvania is a tipping point state 1/3 of the time, but the reason that number has gone down as a tipping point state is because directionally, Harris has run a perfect campaign for 6 weeks, raising $500 million, rallying the base, seeing an improvement with young voters, black voters, Latino voters, independents, swing voters. And so I think Republicans are a little over their skis with the situation right now, praying that she makes a mistake because things are going well. All of that said, I will say, look, she has said she is an underdog. This campaign is very fresh.
Right.
But directionally, they're heading the right way.
So as the underdog, which she obviously admitted, we just played the video, why would you wait and not come out and speak live, hold live news conferences, hold live interviews in order to prove yourself, especially considering the fact that, she was thrown into this race at the very last minute. Most presidential candidates campaign for years. So this is like the finish line. Yeah. This is like at the end of a marathon when you get that final wind in your sails and you press on. And instead, she kind of sat back. And that is not the way to win a race, neither on foot or presidential.
I mean, I think, look, the question is, how do you best communicate to the American people? She had a fantastic rollout. She held a lot of rallies. She did the DNC. She did do press gaggles at those rallies. I think she will continue to do more interviews. So I think there is more to be done. But, like, the next thing right in front of us, to your point to this conversation, is the debate, right? Yeah. That is the next moment where a bunch of Americans are going to tune in. There's going to be breakthrough moments. I think that's what they're preparing for now.
Jessica, a couple things. I mean, is it too little, too late? And also, ABC News has reportedly rejected a request from the Kamala Harris campaign, which I wanted to ask you about, to have microphones unmuted during the entirety of the September 10th debate. Why would they go with a decision like that? Wouldn't you want to hear raw reaction from both candidates? I mean, they do tend to interrupt each other. That can be distracting, but it also is real. I mean, don't we want to hear a real debate? Why does it have to be edited by muting their microphones?
I think it's pretty rich that Vice President Harris was making these requests so late in the game when she tried to accuse President Trump of doing that very thing. Listen, I get that she has not been out there in an unscripted manner. She has not been out there having someone challenge her. And so this is a very difficult position to be in. But she's at actually auditioning for the #1 job in the entire world. And she should be ready to do this. And I think everybody's going to be looking forward to these debates.
All right, Tim, your final thought.
Yeah, look, I think Donald Trump sounds like he wants the mics unmuted, but his handlers do not. And I agree, they should be unmuted. I think you'd have a more honest back and forth. I think the chaos, though, that Donald Trump brings to that stage that is a turnoff for a bunch of people will be on full display, and his campaign is saying, we don't want that.
All right. Thank you both. Have a great Labor Day weekend. Jessica Patterson and Tim Hogan, thank you. And thank you for watching the Faulkner Focus. I'm Julie Banderas, in for Harris. Outnumbered